It's kind of sad because I really want to see how this game developed, and I feel like if they hadn't been bought out, this could have been a really different game nowadays and something that's really fun to play. But unfortunately, Meta had to buy them out and womp womp. So, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Virtually Speaking. This is going to be our second episode, and today we have a very interesting topic that I'm sure you guys all came because of our awesome thumbnail. So, today we are going to be talking about the downfall of Population 1. Now, this game is a game that's very close to our hearts. We played it many times in our early days of VR, and this was like before the free to play update came out, so we are OGs, like
It
hardcore
used to
OGs.
be the only game we played.
Yeah, the only game. We used to, I don't know, I probably have like 100 hours on Population 1, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in VR, that's like kind of not to brag or anything.
On standalone, it's a lot.
Yeah, on standalone when your battery's like 2 hours. Yeah. So,
Okay.
um,
All right.
how
Hey,
this
you're done introing. My
okay,
turn. All right. So today we will be doing we have our small little bit of news that has recently been found out about Tabor possibly copying another
What?
popular
This?
game of a similar genre.
What's
Huh?
this?
This is something I added right before we started because I
Oh, I
found it
just
of
saw it.
mild interest. I found it of mild interest, and I think it's really funny that now that Tabora has actual competition, they decided to lock in with their ideas.
Okay.
Um, we talked about it a little bit before we started recording. Anyway, so yeah, that's small news about Tabor copying, and then of course the main theme, as Quantum already mentioned, which is what happens to Population One and Population One as a game, and our thoughts on it as playing it as many times as we did because we did play it quite a lot. It was that and Pavlov when Pavlov VR was free.
yeah,
Pavlov
Those
peak
Shack.
are
days.
And then we
Peak
those
bought it
peak
and never
VR days.
played it again.
Yeah, bro, that worst $20 I've ever spent.
What about that $3 game that I made you get that I forget the name to?
It
Seven
doesn't matter.
dollars. And
Yeah,
$7.
so anyways, we're gonna start off with basically how
And we have Game of the Week as well.
yeah, game of the week too. But basically we're gonna start off with explaining
we'll get to that later.
yeah, we're gonna explain first the rise of Population One, how it came into the spotlight and why it was so successful in its early days.
Okay, Quantum did a
And
little
some
bit
of
of
the
research, which was very hard to
yes,
come by. He
yes,
spent
it was
lots of
very
hours
hard.
because Population One
So,
has no documentation anywhere that we
except for
could find.
YouTubers who played it. Yeah.
That we could
So
find.
basically, no thanks to the so yeah, basically to start off, so Population One was made by a company called Big Box VR. They were an indie game development company until they were bought out by Meta in like 2023 or 2022 or something. I don't know the dates. Don't quote me on this. But basically, Big Box VR, they started out in 2016. So they were working on random VR stuff like on the HTC Vive and the Valve Index and stuff when that first came out. And their first ever game was Smashbox Arena. And now I couldn't find any information on this game other than the launch trailer, which came out 8 years ago. So they launched the game 8 years ago. It's basically dodgeball shooter type game in VR.
Oh,
Very minimal game, but I mean they gotta
what's
start
it, what's
somewhere.
what's it called?
It's called Smashbox Arena.
Smash.
Looking up right now.
That's just doing our research here. So yeah, while they're doing that, I'm gonna talk about kind of they only really made two games that were fully documented, which was that and then Population One. So the teaser trailer for Population One came out 6 years ago. So that's 2 years after Smashbox Arena launched. And I'm guessing it didn't do that well because of how quickly they released Population One. Or maybe it's just like a intro to that. And basically, their idea with this launch trailer was that this was going to be the very first battle royale shooter in VR. And I guess this was around the time that games like Fortnite and Call of Duty were making battle royales like super popular. That was like the huge thing back then. I mean, it still is today. Like they still hold up, but
Still
to
massive,
see that kind of game in VR was like a huge thing back
a
then,
massive
and
thing.
a massive thing. And so yeah, there I don't know if we'll show it here, but if you we'll link it in the video description. But you can go watch the very first teaser trailer for Population 1. And if you've played this game, you can see this trailer does not look anything like the game we have today. It's looks way more optimized for like PC gameplay. And I don't know, I think the art style they're going for at the start looks way cooler than what
That
we
was
got.
really just like a render. That wasn't even like game
I
anything.
think it was gameplay though, because there are
Oh,
clips I found of they showcased it at one of the like conventions for VR, like late, like right when this probably like yeah, around 6 years ago. And there is footage of YouTubers going and playing it, and it looks exactly like it does in this trailer. Like it's
huh.
sick. This is like
That's
the game
cool.
we deserved. Yeah,
Yes.
it was sick. They had like a fully fleshed out map with all like the cool environment and stuff, and then I
Not what
guess
we have today.
yeah. Then the actual launch trailer, oh, surprisingly enough, came out 2 years later. So
Years.
that was in 2021 that released. And
The
this,
downgrade for the Quest.
yeah, so I'm thinking what happened is this was a downgraded version for the Quest, and that's the one that like really blew up. And I'm sure many of you guys remember the OG trailer because of how sick it was. It got me so
Yep,
hyped up for VR. That's
it
part of the
was.
reason I played the game so much, is because of that trailer. They're just so sick.
It'll
And
probably be in the background of us talking right now.
yeah, yeah, I'll play it.
I have the thing for the Smashbox Arena. They kind of set themselves up for failure from the beginning. They said like it, I don't know, CS:GO and Mario Kart combined doesn't sound fun to me, and they used that to describe it.
Yo,
And then
what?
they
CS:GO
yeah, look,
Mario Kart?
it says this is what happens when Counter-Strike meets Mario Kart in VR, and it's way more fun than it has any right to be. Paul,
Okay,
oh,
I don't know if we can hold them
that's
up
from
on that
Paul.
claim.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, yeah, so in 2021, Population 1 launched without a hitch. It was massively popular both on like the Quest and PC VR headsets because of how like well it ran, and it was a fairly glitchless game, I think.
I don't think
And
I've seen any
I have
glitches
seen
that
a
break
few that
experience
yeah,
of fun.
yeah. And it was yeah, it was sick because it was the first like battle royale shooter in VR. And like especially their climbing system, flying, it had everything, right? So it launched the hitch in 2021. Then um a year later, they had their first season, season 1 Uprising, which is where they introduced the tower and some other stuff around that. You could actually go inside. And that was cool. And then they ended up bringing out three more seasons came out over the course of the next like 2 or 3 years, and it ended with the final season, which was the Knights and like the Kingdom season, and that brought out like the biggest part of the map, which is the Kingdom. And for people who played this game before it went free to play,
There
you
used to be a
remember
kingdom
the
that they
giant castle.
removed from
Yeah,
us.
they removed. We're gonna get into that later on
Yes,
why they
yes, yes.
removed all this.
Same with
But yeah, for
Metropolis,
right
but
now,
later.
yeah. So then after like this is kind of when we started coming in to the game, and that was crazy. They had so many live events. It was so fun. They had like the orb collecting, they had the Valentine's Day letterbox stuff,
All those
and
things.
yeah, it was so fun. And they'd even have like yeah. So they were really active with the community. They had yeah, lots of stuff going on. They're always updating the game, adding new skins. It was just so fun. And then right around this time we started playing, and then that's when like the winter updates came out. It was so yeah, it was cool. They like add snow to everything. They made it really
All the rocks became
Christmassy.
ice,
Yeah.
and your
Yep.
footsteps would sound different when you
Yeah.
moved.
Damn. This is actually bringing back so many memories. Just sick. And then right around this time they got bought out. This lasted for like a year or two because this is when I first got my headset. And then
Yeah,
the news came out that Meta bought them. Okay, and this is around the time that they changed it and it went free to play. And
they
when it
made
went free to
one
play,
good feature. which
Yeah,
was
two
the
like one
shadow.
oh yeah, so the two things that came out with this free to play game. So one was the optimization and new graphics update, which is yeah, include your own player shadows and just yeah, optimization update. And then the other one was the sandbox mode. And at first this seems really cool, but then you realize that all the things you could actually build in sandbox were like really shitty. And I didn't think at the time of how much it would replace the game because they took out the evolving map, which is the stuff that had all
Kingdom,
the up
Metropolis, all the new
yeah,
stuff.
all that cool stuff. They took that out and replaced it with with the OG map. And now the only way you
Like
can
for
get an evolving map,
release,
yeah. So
not from the trailers, not
yeah,
from the
so once
original
this game
show.
went free to play, it kind of lost its well, if anything, it gained community. It gained all those little kids, all the Quest
The
kids, Gorilla Tag kids who just want to play free, right?
As much as we
Who
yeah,
weren't
hate
like,
Quest Kitties, they carry all the games.
I know, yeah, and that's when it started to suck because there were so many
The
new
downhill
people. The maps were
spiral.
unfamiliar. Like it just felt like, and they took out the live seasons too. Like the updates stopped like coming out. There was only like a few skins every month, and like not really any words from the developers. And what actually happened was Meta had, yeah, bought them out and then just replaced them with the skeleton crew of Meta random people, just so they could keep the game like barely running.
running.
Yeah, like basically just checking up on it every now and then to see if it kept pulling players in. And the interesting thing with this, and the gameplay just got worse from there, right? Like it sucked. The game wasn't fun anymore. The player base wasn't great. And I think a lot of the OG players left the game because it just we left the
Wasn't
game.
fun anymore.
It wasn't fun anymore. And it's kind of sad because I really want to see how this game developed. And I feel like if they hadn't been bought out, this could have been a really different game nowadays and something that's really fun to play. But unfortunately, Meta had to buy them out and womp womp.
Like they
So
do every other company.
yeah, so while I was researching this, I actually came up with an interesting theory that I don't even think this is a theory because this is basically proven to be true. But
Okay.
this whole thing of them buying it out and then instantly making it free to play is linked with something else that was going on at that time, which is Echo Arena got discontinued. And
I loved that game too. Holy, you're
yes,
cooking.
It
and
was
Continue.
guys,
Please.
also
if
bought by a
yes,
certain company.
so Echo Arena is also a game that was bought by Meta and then instantly went free to play. And this happened all before I got my Quest. So when I first got it, I was like, "Oh, cool, sick. Echo Arena. It's a free
Free to
VR
play.
game. Sick. This is so
It
fun."
was the
And then
first play game we played together, actually.
yeah, it was. That was yeah, damn. Yeah, the memories are coming back. Um so yeah, there's this trend of now of like Meta buying out a game, it going free to play, and then a few months like a few years or months later, they just discontinue it because they got everything out of it. And the reason they do this,
Support next.
yeah, the
Please
reason
support
they
next.
do this is because Population One got to a certain point where they looked at the analytics and they realized that it got to like such so popular that person or the every person that could buy the game had bought it and they had already gotten all their customers that they could ever get out of the game. And why would Meta keep promoting a game like that if they've already got the majority of customers that they will
Yeah.
ever get in the lifespan of the game? So what they did is they bought it, they make it free to play so that you can get into that extra demographic of all those like little kids that aren't in the
Uh,
workforce and don't have money to pay for games. And then through that, you get extra transactions through like cosmetics and gun skins. And then it's basically just wiping up all the extra money you can from that game. And
before shutting it down.
yeah. So
It's
it's like this
actually
really bad cycle that they're going through. And it's so horrible that this happened to Echo VR too, because that was such a good game.
Echo
Uh,
was such a good game. They tried
it
to replace it
was
with other soccer games, but nothing can replace it.
nothing was ever going to compare to that.
feel
I
like I
played
Um,
saw
like four
something that the
games.
developer of Gorilla Tag is working on a Echo
oh, that
VR.
came out. We need to play that. It's free to play
It
too.
did?
We it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
We
I'm
might
Yes,
need
it
to
living
play
came
that
under a
like
out.
rock.
after we record.
Yeah, you guys have been living under a rock, but yeah, it's been a whole thing. Um,
Yeah, we
so
have no clue what's happening.
basically Uh, that was it. That's what you guys came for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's the start
I
of
have
Tabor, or no, that's the start of
no,
Population
he
One.
sold. Redo the whole episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
I
guys,
I
don't
what?
go. We have more to
We
say
have more. We have
because
more. We have
Okay,
more. There's a
it
few
has been
things.
proven that they are targeting the little kids with no money because they lowered their age restriction from 13 to 10.
oh, that's interesting. I didn't
Did they
notice that.
actually?
Yeah, like quite a bit recently.
Ooh.
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't see
interesting. I didn't
that.
know that. Um,
I
so yeah,
have I
now
have
we have
a comparison I would like to make
okay.
between this is kind of similar but not really the same, but still kind of similar. Sail VR was really good. It was a good game. I enjoyed playing it. Not my
I
favorite
don't
by
have
far.
fail.
Are you about to
Don't
make a
Sail.
controversial
I said
statement?
Sail. Sail, the pirate one.
Sale.
Fail. Oh, sorry, your mic is a little bad.
Sail wasn't bad. It was enjoyable, in fact. It was a pretty good game. I'm referring to the multiplayer version, of course. The single player, nothing's changed with that.
I loved the single player. It was way better.
It also cost money when it was good. And then they made it free, and then same as Population One, except they didn't sell to Meta, I think. It just went,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say something right now. I don't think it was ever
It would pay.
paid game.
It
It
was.
was?
Multiplayer was paid,
Yes.
yeah. Multiplayer was
Okay,
paid at the
They
so
made it
time.
oh,
free exactly
multiplayer was
last
paid.
Christmas.
Yes. Yeah, but the thing with
Yeah,
that is they're going the route of Gorilla Tag, which is like a very like a route that works surprisingly well with VR, and that's why it's so successful, is they make a game that's widely available to all like the majority of users on Quest, which is like little kids, and then they get all their income from purely just from cosmetics, but they make half the game cosmetics. So it's not something that's
Yeah.
like necessary to play the game, but it's like something that you want, right?
yeah,
Yes.
'cause all the little 10-year-old Timmies are like, oh, it's shiny, I want it, cool. And when they're playing Sail and they like games like Sail and Gorilla Tag and whatnot, they don't know what an actual good game is. Like, say,
Well,
Blade
they
of
don't
like
get it for the
games that actually
quality, they get it for the experience, which I think
Yeah,
is true
cause
for most VR games.
yeah, but all these
I
developers are
got Blade
taking
and Sorcerer
advantage
for
of
the
all the
experience.
little kids.
Yeah. And good on them, good marketing. Only take advantage of
I
them
mean,
financially. Don't
if I
don't
could
P
make
Diddy this shit. So
Gorilla Tag made $100 million from cosmetics.
I forgot that they
Yeah.
cracked that milestone. That's actually crazy. That's a
Was it 100? I thought it was
massive
10
amount of money.
million.
Is 100, I think.
100
I'll
million.
look it up. I'll look it up. I'll look up.
Yeah, double
Damn.
check me. Double check me.
How much money
That is
has Gorilla
crazy.
Tag made?
That's
100
like
million. Yep, he was right. Jesus Christ. That is so much money.
that's just
That
little
is
kids
Okay.
buying cosmetics.
yeah, that's
All right.
wild.
Before we get into our next two segments here, which is the fall of Pop One and our opinions on it, I
That's
have
what we
some
just
small
talked
news.
about.
That's what we're
That's what
talking
we
about
just.
right now.
That's what. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Were
My
you on
apologies. I wasn't. I
bricked
was
up?
on mute. No, I was on. I was on mute. I didn't know we were sharing our opinions because it says the doc says and how we all feel. I didn't know we were sharing opinions just yet. I thought we were still on the other part. My
Yeah.
apologies.
We kind of all pitched in a bit. Okay, let's share our opinions, guys.
Yeah.
Also, my laptop might die in like a few minutes, so yeah.
Okay, plug
Plug
it
it
in then.
in.
I literally can't, bro.
Okay, Baguette Boy,
Oh my God.
what are your
All right.
opinions?
One day, these two fine gentlemen said, "Hey, Baguette Boy, there's a game you should get. It's a battle royale VR shooter called Population One." I said, "No, I don't want to waste my money." They said, "It won't be a waste of money." I said, "Fine." I got the game. I never you guys are very passionate about Population One, I can tell. I didn't care for it quite as much. I enjoyed it for sure. It was very fun. It was missing something. Like just from the beginning, and especially when I got it because it was kind of starting its downward spiral because I got it when it was free.
Yeah, you
It,
got it
it,
like
it was miss.
the week it turned free.
Yeah, it was just missing something for me. But it was a good game. It was a good game, and we played it quite a lot. It was that and Pavlov that we only played because we didn't like understand that there were better games. There aren't because Tabor
Pavlov
sucks.
is a solid game. The whole thing
Pavlov is a
carrying is
great
modding
game.
community.
Yeah.
Pavlov is a really good.
That's a whole
I
other
enjoy
episode, guys.
Pavlov.
That's a whole other episode.
We should do our Pavlov
Yeah,
experience.
and like Bankrupt Games is such a goofy studio. Just their random dedication to this game at like the weirdest times, and their like communication is just so funny.
Yeah,
Once every 1 or 2 years, they'll drop a huge update that changes the core game. And then you'll just never talk about the game or anything for another 1 or 2 years.
that's actually weird that they're still popular if it's 1 or 2 years. Anyway, I never
It's
knew
not.
Pop One in its prime. I knew Grandpa Pop One, okay? I knew old Grandpa Pops as he just tried to stay on top of the world as his whole world fell around beside him. All of his people, all of his loyal followers, his alliances, all of them trembled at the what's the right word here?
Prime. No.
No, the dominance of the
Yeah.
meta
That's why
company.
people were excited about Showdown.
Yeah, because like, oh, new, because there wasn't really a battle royale after Pop One, right?
Yeah, Pop was the only battle royale, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
There was probably another one, but it wasn't nearly as good to be mentionable. Anyway, I never do it in its prime. I think it's a pretty good game still. It's still missing that something. It's missing something. And if you ever want a solid shoulder workout, go to the middle of the map and climb that tower from the base up.
It's just technique. Once you get the technique down, it doesn't hurt your shoulders.
Never quite got that down either. Maybe that's what I was missing. I enjoyed the
Yes.
workout after that game, though. But I don't know. It's missing something. At least kids can't crank 90s on me. At least there's not like an actual good building system. Anyway,
But the
that's
people that
my
do build properly are very good.
yes, yes, yes.
They either
Um,
don't build or build very well, I feel.
yeah. Or just get shot at and then spam build like there's no tomorrow. That's me.
Yeah,
Um,
that too.
anyway, I think Quantum, are you still with us or is this computer dead?
His computer's dead.
All right, that's
Okay,
exciting. All right.
we'll
Uh,
move on to game of the week.
no,
Drum
one more
roll,
thing. Small news, and this is
small news.
majorly important.
Okay,
Frauds of
back
Tabor have
to
done it
back
again.
to we're going back to our roots.
Back to our roots here. Frauds of Tabor. I refuse to call them their actual name now. Frauds of Tabor have done it again. We all know, because we've talked about it on like 4 different episodes and with 2 different YouTubers, about the new competitor shooter extraction mode known as Contractors Exfil and Exfil Showdown.
Spell
And
zone.
they revolutionized. Shut up. Oh, you're right, but like, don't ruin this for me. As yes, El Cantun is El Cantun. I was reprimanded by that rigorously by one of my friends for not using the proper pronunciation of your name. Anyway, we all know that
It's the new
contractors
hardcore version of Tabor. It's way
yeah,
sweatier, way more intense, funner,
better
more
mechanism.
revolutionary.
Funner's not a word actually. Anyway,
Who cares about funner?
who cares? One of my friends would like probably correct us in the comments if I didn't. Anyway, um, it contractors Xfield Zone, whatever it's called. I've never actually played it. Revolutionized the shooter space for its uniqueness and like just it's
Tarkov.
just a better
They
game.
basically just
Yeah,
copied Tarkov.
they
But
basically
Tarkov is
copy
great.
pasted Target. They're what frauds of Tabor aspire to be.
The newest short, or
Anyway,
one of the newest shorts on the Ghost of Tabor YouTube,
yes,
mentioned how they're revolutionizing their healing and
yes,
basically made a short description of how the exfil zone healing works.
they are copying Exfil Zone. Another thing they're doing that isn't as well known because it was only revealed recently on a interview podcast with Scott. They're changing their backpacks. And you know what they're changing, El Katoon?
Let me guess. Solid back?
Take a wild. Okay, what about the backpacks do you think they're changing?
Make them more like exfil zones, like with a solid,
Yes,
so you don't accidentally drop things behind. That was like one of my
yes,
favorite things when going to exfil zone.
yes. Um, that is 100% correct. They're making it more like Exfil Zone. How are they doing this, you might ask? Well, now, exactly like Exfil Zone, you can put helmets on the side of your backpack and
Whoa.
guns. I mean, you can do that on the
I'm
gear
sure they
tag.
were just about to add all those things.
Uh-huh. Real convenient. Real convenient. Anyway, you can also in I don't know if Exfil Zone can actually do this though. Armor folding system, so you can fold the bigger pieces of armor and put them away in your backpack.
Yes, it kind of has that, but it's more like on the side of the backpack. I don't know. Haven't played enough.
So they're kind of. We see you, Scott. We see you. We know what you're doing. You're not slick with it, buddy. You're not slick with it. Why did Ghost of Tabor? Why are they a finalist? Hold on. I just looked at the announcement page on the Discord. Ghost of Tabor
Finalist of
finalist
what?
for Game of the Year, Best Action Game, Best Adventure Shooter, Best Strategy Simulator.
They could do that again?
They
Or
won
would
it
it be
twice
Grim?
in a row.
Would it be Grim? Would they be
No,
talking
it
about
says Ghost of Tabor.
what?
Yeah, it's 30% off in the Steam store because they won.
They did?
Yeah, Scott just posted the 12th at 6:20. It's an absolute honor to be the finalist in so many categories. They're finalists for Game of the Year. Bullshit.
Okay, next
Hold
episode
on, I
is
just
what the games we think who should have won.
yeah, and not Frauds of Tabor. Anyway, um, and
So,
now we are on to my personal favorite segment of the show,
game of the
leaving.
week. Drum
Just kidding.
roll,
Yeah, Game
please.
of the Week.
Epic roller coaster.
All right, you want to open with this one? You want to take it away?
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Epic roller coaster is one of the founding fathers of VR.
Weirdly
It,
so, because it's not that much of a, it's not that great of a game.
yes, it's one of the first game a lot of people try when they first try VR. Either because the person, the owner of their headset that put them in VR, put them in either this game or Ricky's Plank experience, or because it's just a free game. Another free game to try out before spending all your money because you just spent all your money on the VR headset. But other than that, it's a little basic, but it's pretty good for how old it is. I think it's came out 2018 if I'm
I think you're right.
correct.
We'll look at that right now.
But
Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
anyways, it's just missing that little bit of content that it could have, like more roller coasters, because I think there's only six.
2017, August 24th is when it came out.
Uh, okay. I think it only has six roller coasters unless you want to pay money, I believe. I could be
I
wrong.
believe six. No, it's the T-Rex Kingdom, the underwater one, the rock mine one, the tropical one. Is there only four?
Oh,
There might only be four, unless I'm missing some.
I feel like I remember six on the thing. But they do have, that's the next thing I was going to talk about, their microtransactions.
Oh God.
They're a bit in your face. It doesn't really let you enjoy the game because everything is, other than going on a roller coaster, is a microtransaction. You got
Yeah.
anything else to add, Baguette Boy?
It's a good game. It's not like a game you'd play consistently. It's like you're bored or your Wi-Fi is not working. You're like, I'll play one game. Why not? Like one little roller coaster ride, or you're like waiting for your friends to hop on. But I, the microtransactions are the biggest thing for me. Like, I would much rather like just pay for cosmetics and have all the roller coasters unlocked than, and yeah, a lack of content as well. Like you said,
But
it's just
I
not
guess
there.
it is a free game from when did you
It
say
is
it
a free
was
game. We
released?
can't 2017. You
Oh yeah.
can't really blame them.
There's one like
But
it's like that was like when the original Quest or maybe Rift probably was out.
yeah, that's when like all the like it's a founding father, just like many
Yes.
games at the time.
Yes.
Ah, well,
Okay. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
bye. Just kidding. We'll do an actual outro. Um, Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are. We wish you all the best. All of our 6 loyal viewers that will go up. Join the Discord in the description. Subscribe, like, and comment. It helps us out a lot, and not a lot of viewers subscribe. All YouTubers say this, and now I'm becoming one, and they're low-key spitting fire because it's so true. Please subscribe. It helps us
Yes.
out a lot, like actually. And
And,
also,
and tell all your
listen
friends.
on Spotify. Tell all your friends, unless you go to my school, you know who you are. Listen to us on Spotify because if we're gonna make money fast, it's gonna be on Spotify. Like actually,
I think we're closer on YouTube.
are we? I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Go on
Do it.
Spotify
Do
anyways.
everything. Tell your friends. Tweet about us.
Go to
Um.
Patreon. It's free for now.
Yes. For
There's
now. For
nothing on
now.
there,
For
but
now.
it's free. You should sign up.
Yeah. But yeah. Shout out to Ego. Go subscribe to him after you subscribe to us. Getting it's a glitch. Anyway. Have an
Goodbye.
excellent evening, afternoon, morning, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.